Celtic legend developed vomiting problem after car crash broke his neck. Former Celtic legend Alan Thompson has opened up about the impact of a horrific car crash injury when he was a teenager, which he said led to a pre-match vomiting problem. Thompson played for Celtic over 150 times and even scored 7 times in the hotly contested Old Firm derbies against Rangers during his time at the club. The combative footballer also featured for Aston Villa and Bolton Wanderers after coming through the ranks at his local club Newcastle United. But, speaking on the Anything Goes with James English podcast, Alan revealed how his career was almost brought to an end before it had even started. Alan described how he had signed for Newcastle United when he broke his neck in a car crash at the age of only 16, putting him out of the game for 2 years. The former pro explained to James how the event had unfolded, remembering, "The lad that was driving fell asleep at the wheel." He described how they'd been making their way back from watching a reserve team game at Elland Road in Leeds when the car they were in had flipped. There was no lights on that part of the motorway, so when the car ended up on its roof 11 o'clock at night, pitch black, you think, "What's happened here?" The next thing he knew, Alan recalled, he was in an ambulance worrying about the paramedics ruining his clothes as they worked to save his life. "I don't think I knew how serious it was. It was a Wednesday night, and on the Saturday I was going away with the England under-17s. We had a game in Iceland, and I said to the nurses on my first night in hospital, am I going to be fit for Saturday?" Although Alan was remarkably able to return to football after the accident, he admitted that he had continued to suffer from the ramifications of his injuries for the rest of his career. In fact, the former midfielder's rehab was almost derailed when his fractured neck refused to heal properly, and he had to have pins and plates put into his neck, earning the nickname Robocop from his teammates. And, when he finally returned to the pitch 2 years later, Alan admitted he was petrified. "Tackles, going up for aerial challenges, it was probably a mental block I had," he confessed. "Later on in my career, I had a big problem with vomiting before games. Certain managers didn't like it, Kevin Keegan being one." Alan explained how one manager had even sent him to see a psychologist to try to address the constant throwing up. The psychologist put it down to the possible fear of getting a serious injury again after having my neck broken, he said. "But it didn't cure the vomiting. I carried on all the way through my career and I stopped playing at 34, it was just something I did." As it turned out, Alan's problem didn't hamper his career too greatly, and he went on to feature for Leeds United after